Hi, my name is Jake, and I am a bookish drummer. So a long time ago on my channel, when I was still relatively new, I probably had less than 100 subscribers, I had the brilliant idea of making a 3-star predictions video. And kind of the joke was like, oh, everyone's doing 5-star prediction videos, what they think are going to be new favorites. And the 3-star predictions were books that were like, I think these books will be fine. They're not going to be favorites. They're going to be they're going to kind of be mediocre. And that video didn't do well. So what am I doing today? Another 3-star predictions video. And actually, I'm going to do kind of like a 3-video set here where I'm going to go over my 3-star predictions, my 4-star predictions, and then I'm going to end with my 5-star predictions, books that I actually think I'm going to love. But today, we're going over books that I could possibly like, but I don't have super high expectations for. Probably I'm going to give them 3 stars, and I'm going to think that they're good, but not great. Not terrible, but not great. Again, this is probably a stupid idea, but I'm going to go with it anyway. So... I'm going to kind of cheat and start with a book in a series that I'm already well into, and that would be Heir of Navrin by Michael J. Sullivan. This is the 3rd bind-up in books 5 and 6 of the Rhaeria Revelations. I can never say that word right. And like I said, this is kind of cheating because I've already read the first 2 bind-ups, and I wasn't a huge fan of those. I think I gave Theft of Swords 3.5 stars, and then I gave Rise of Empire 2 stars. So more than likely, I'm probably going to give this 3 stars. It could have an awesome ending and I end up loving it, but that's not what I suspect. I love Michael J. Sullivan because of the Legends of the First Empire series. Those 6 books were incredible, and I loved all of those books. And going back and reading this first series, this is his first published work, it just doesn't live up to it, and you can tell that this is his first writing. And for me, it's just not as good as Legends of the First Empire, so probably this will be a 3-star book. Next book I'm going to talk about is the first book in a fantasy series. It's a BookTube darling. So many people love this series. The series won 3 Hugo Awards in a row, which is just baffling. But for me, I'm not quite sure I'm going to like it. We'll see. And that would be the 5th season by N.K. Jemisin. Now, for me, a few years ago, I picked this book up, because it was pretty popular. And I was like, oh, I want to see what this series is about. So I read like the first few chapters, and I very quickly DNF'd it. I was like, what is this? Like, this is not good. But hearing people's differing opinions has me intrigued to try it again. I know a lot of people on BookTube love this book, but I know a lot of people who don't like this book, and they say it's overrated and it doesn't live up to the hype. So I kind of have middling expectations for it. I don't expect to DNF it again. I want to try to read it just to know like what the twist is, because I know it's supposed to have a pretty decent twist, and a lot of people don't see it coming. But then again, I've heard people say that they did see it coming and they thought it was obvious. So I'm just very interested to see where I lie on the spectrum. And I think I'm probably going to lean towards 3 stars, but you never know. It could be a new favorite of mine. It won't be. This next book isn't a book that I'm like eagerly waiting to read, and it's very low on my priority list, but if I can get to it, it'd be a pretty neat read. But that would be The Nice Guys I don't even know who this is by. It's a novelization of the movie. Charles Arday. I have no idea who that is. But I saw the movie years ago and it was pretty entertaining. So I think going back to read a novelization of the movie would be pretty fun, but generally novelizations aren't good. Those are like the rare exceptions of like the movie being better because that's how it started out. So I think it would be a fun and interesting read, but probably I don't see myself giving it more than 3 stars. Another booktube darling and booktube series that I've been kind of on the fence about for years is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. I think with this first book, a lot of people say that the series gets better and better and that the first book isn't necessarily the best in the series. So I am going to read this in January and I'm going to see if I enjoy it or not. My suspicion is that I'll enjoy parts of it, but as a whole, it won't be like my favorite thing ever. But I'll still be interested enough to continue with the series. So I'm leaning towards this being a 3-star book. And then hopefully the next few in the series will be better and better as I read them. But Red Rising, probably more like a 3-star book. But again, who knows? This is all conjecture. And is this whole video pointless? Like, what are we even doing here, people? What are we doing? Speaking of booktube darlings, I feel like I'm gonna make a lot of people mad with this video, but this is a YA book that I've heard almost all good things from. I think I've only heard a few people say that it was okay, but most people just flat out give it 5 stars. And that would be Fireborn by Rosaria Munda. And this is supposed to be a very politically driven, almost mature YA book. And normally YA just doesn't do it for me. Like, I love Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere, but his young adult, it just does not do it for me. And I've never been able to find one that does. And in general, YA just doesn't do it for me. And then this is probably going to be the same, I believe. I don't think I'll hate it, but at the same time, I don't think it'll be a new favorite. Hence the 3-star predictions. I could be wrong because so many people absolutely love this book and the following book too. So hopefully I'm wrong. Well, hopefully I'm wrong with all of this. Like, hopefully all of these books are like new favorites of mine, but that never works like that. So yeah, 3 stars, we'll see. This next book, I'll be honest, I have no idea what it's about. I got it off of Book of the Month for October just because like none of the other books sounded appealing to me. So I just went with a random book totally based on the cover. I have no idea what this book is about. And that would be The Perishing by Natasha Dion. I have no idea if that's how you pronounce it, but that's what I'm going with. But look at that cover. That's a very pretty cover. Let's see if I can, yeah. And that's all I know. It's called The Perishing by an author named Natasha Dion. It's got a pretty cover. That's all I know. So I have no expectations. So I don't think giving this a 4-star or 5-star prediction would be wise. So I'm going to go in with very low, probably just 0 expectations. So chances are it'll probably be a 3-star book, but you never know. And the last book I'm going to talk about here is a book that I am excited about just on the cover and the title alone. And I picked this up at a local used bookstore in the mystery section, and it and then you'll see why it caught my eye. It's called 12 Drummers Drumming by C.C. Benison. And obviously I'm a drummer in a murder mystery based on, that's gotta be, has to do something with drumming, right? And I love the picture here of like the 11th drummer, like stabbing someone with a drumstick. It's very comical. But I think what the plot of the book is actually like, there's this small town, and like one of their traditions is like they have a big drum, and I think inside one of the drums someone finds like a dead body or something. So I'm not sure if this book really has anything to do with like drumming specifically. It might just be like, oh, they have a big drum. So I'm gonna be pretty disappointed if there's no drummers in this book. But, you know, we'll see. I'm probably gonna read it during Christmas just as a goof, and you know, my expectations are pretty low. It could be a new favorite, but I just don't see it happening. All right, so those are my 3-star predictions. Did I just waste everyone's time? Like, oh yeah, these are books that I think are gonna be mediocre. But anyway, down in the comments section, let me know if you guys have read any of these books. Let me know if you love them. Let me know if you hate them. Tell me why. And do you have any books that you've kind of been avoiding because you think you might possibly think it's mediocre, or you don't think it'll be a new favorite, so you've kind of been putting it off, and maybe you predict it'll be 3 stars? Let's get this going, guys. We need to have more 3-star prediction videos. This is a good idea, damn it. It's a good idea. No, it really isn't. Anyway, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to my YouTube channel and the Bookish Drummer Discord. Thank you so much for watching, and have a terrific day.